Well, hey there. This is for anyone who wants to learn about the Zazzle platform or think about getting into print on demand and earn some extra money on the side or create an online business. In this video, we're talking about how Zazzle is such a wonderful platform and how we can make it easy for you to learn and giving you a beginner step-by-step guide to process this, guide to success, and give you some information and advice on how you can start your business really easily, because a lot of people are maybe frustrated and overwhelmed with a lot of information out there on YouTube, Instagram, all those platforms about what to choose, which platform, where to go, how to even start and set it up properly. And so in this video, we're going to give you some advice on the beginner's guide on how to create that for your Zazzle business. My name is Jennifer Clarke, and this is Elke Clarke, and we are a mother-daughter duo, and we mentor and coach people all around the world on how to create profitable businesses using the Zazzle platform. And we have helped our clients sell over $165 million of Zazzle products online. So welcome.
Well, hey there, and welcome to this video. We're going to dive deep into the step-by-step beginner's guide, but we're also going to explain to you why this is so important for you, because we've gone through it. When I first started, I had this binder that had it was full of thick. It was like the 3-inch binder, and it had all of my logins and all of my things that I was going to do. I was going to do this, I was going to do that, I was going to do this. And honest to God, I tried all of those and I started those all, and crickets. It was not fun. It was incredibly embarrassing. It was so frustrating, because what I wanted was, and if we want to put that first desire up, I wanted a step-by-step guide to learn how to do it, because every one of these things, everyone was talking about how great it was and how you could do it. And then I started it and I go I just need a plan. I don't know how to do this on my own. I just couldn't. And then, I really wanted, and this is my biggest desire, and my dream was to put that one up. And in this case, make at least something my primary income, right? Because I wanted to make some money online to stay home with my family, but I had high, goals. I'm almost embarrassed, but I basically go this has to work at a 6-figure level, otherwise I'm not in. And at the point in time, I don't know if I was just being really courageous or very brave or very stupid, but I thought I could do it yesterday because of all the things that I heard people do, oh, it's easy and you can make this much money and it's a piece of cake. Buy my course or buy my ebook or buy this. And that's kind of what I did. And it turned out to be difficult, because some people were incredibly helpful, but others were not. And this is one of the things that Jen and I made a mission of, is I wanted to ultimately, when I was successful with what I ended up doing, which actually was successful on Zazzle, was one of their top, and still am one of their top earners. And Jen then followed suit and sort of tested out my step-by-step process in order for her to go and get whatever she needed to travel all over the world and use Zazzle as her primary income. And I just said, I've got to also make sure other people can do this too, because I get it. I get how hard it is. I get how you just kind of look at something and your eyes glaze over. And then also people go oh, it's easy to do this, but they had a certain set of skill sets that maybe you don't have, or especially I didn't have initially. So I needed the skill sets, and I needed to really understand that this isn't just a fly-by-night thing. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Nothing online is that, right? No matter what people say, how easy it is, they've come from a certain, spot in their business where they already have a lot of skill sets, and then it happens to them once and they go okay, now buy my book. But Jen and I, we did learn it the hard way. It took us, in my first year and also in Jen's first year before she did my strategies, we both made about a $90 income that was paid out. And it was okay, Zazzle's a scam. Zazzle's this. It's not fair. All those terrible things that you think about. But it wasn't Zazzle. It was us. We just didn't know how. And we didn't have the skill sets, and we didn't understand what's involved, right? And so thankfully we didn't give up, because in my next year I made $2,300, and this is back in 2008. So don't worry. But it wasn't like, then you can see, you can Google my, you can just go search everywhere if you want. It's all out there in terms of my income over those years. But ultimately, within about a 4-year period, I was making over 6 figures. That was take home profit. Like that's, and like basically because I set my royalty at 10%. And Zazzle is one of these platforms where all you really need to do is put out your products, and then Zazzle pays you a royalty. That was great because it was basically all profit except for what it cost for me to do the work, right? My
Mhm.
hours and maybe my computer and my internet, but that's pretty much it. And you then, it's a lot, like that allows you to really be profitable. And so in essence, by year 5, I think I was selling $1 million worth of product a year consistently. And within a couple more years, I was selling almost $2 million worth of product consistently. And that kept up for quite a long time. Unfortunately, a couple of things happened in our family where we had to take some time off. And so it got down a little bit less, but it still stayed there. And that was another really big learning for me is, hey, first of all, I was smart to be on Zazzle because I actually got a business going where it was consistently earning me even more than what I had done in a professional sense with a PhD. And if I needed to take 3 to 4 years off, which is more, like I took even more time than off than that, it kept making me more money and consistently, right? Without me doing very much, which is
Mhm.
awesome. So if anyone's out there that's going like, well, I have to think, further ahead. I can't just think I want to make this money now, which first of all is very unrealistic. You can't just make $1 million or even $100,000 in 2 months. You can't. Unless you're already set up, like I said before, you have a lot of systems in place. You have followers, you have this, you have that, create the right offer, etc. But if you're working on a business that creates a brand, which is what I did, and then have customers that are loyal, and also designs that are incredibly popular that consistently can sell for you even when you're not working anymore. That's the business you want, right? And Zazzle is the one place on all the platforms I've tried where that happened. So I hope that was enough of a story about my learnings that will help you understand, like, hey, I got to ask a couple more questions, not just like, where can I make the best money quickly?
Yeah, no, it's very true. And
Okay,
if we have
so go ahead.
to, oh, well, I wanted to just also touch on, like, so we talked about your dreams and your desires of what you wanted to learn. So earn money and hopefully make it your full-time income, and your desire is to learn step by step. And it's very true. Back when Elke and I first started out on Zazzle, there was no guide to let us know how to create a business. Even the Zazzle platform, of course, it gave you instructions on how to open up your first store, but they didn't have, a blog detailing these are the niches that you should get into. This is the way that you should set up your store homepage, all of those things. And that's why Elke, I mean, if she hadn't created what we now call our coaching program and our blog and our podcast, I don't know if somebody else would have now created something so robust and informative as what we've done for people who want to make money on Zazzle, because we saw that there was potential success, and Elke has such a wonderful, kind heart that she wanted to share with everybody, and said that there's so much wealth in this world that why keep all the secrets to myself when I can help other people learn from my mistakes and my also achievements, right? However, it comes with frustrations too, not just all easy peasy. And some of them might be that right now you personally might be finding that there's a lot of conflicting tips and advice online. And like Elka said, there really wasn't anything available when we first started out. So we didn't have the frustration of that there was too much information. We had the frustration that there was no information or minimal information. And so now it's hard for people to dissect and find the proper information on YouTube and on Instagram, etc., because there's so many people offering such free advice out there. However, do they have the statistics behind them to back them up? And also, do they have the experience to back them up as well? Because you can just go and look on YouTube and find somebody who says, oh, well, Zazzle is not the greatest platform, or Zazzle, I can make $1,000 in one day. I mean, a lot of stuff you have to take with a grain of salt and do your research. And Elke and I have been on this platform since 2008, and we've been coaching people for the last 8 years. And we have statistics to back up not only our own earnings, excuse me, but our clients' earnings as well. And so you have to know that when we tell you something, it is probably very true. And, we can have through our own experiences, the advice given to you, or through our clients' experiences as well.
I
So
think that
once you,
it's kind of cute how you said it's probably very true. It is true. We can't. Otherwise, we were, the Federal Trade Commission could be coming after us. No, we actually underreport, right? We only use the data that we have, which is at this point, like when we say 165 million in sales, it means that our clients have earned $16.5 million worth of Zazzle products, and that's based on their like levels, like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then whoever we know that's made more than diamond, which is $500,000 in lifetime earnings. And those levels are only from US sales, right? So
mhm,
most of our clients have actually made a lot more just because they sell internationally, and those diamond or platinum or whatever levels Zazzle assigns to people are actually based only on any sales that they've made in the US. And so everything's an underestimation. So more than likely we have, and then we only have the data from about 50% of the clients, because we get to really know our people, and then they also share with us their earnings, and it's really exciting to see. But it just means that there's even more out there that are doing well that we don't know about, or they
mhm,
might not be doing well, but we, at least this is our base number, and it can be even higher, which is so exciting because that would have never happened had we not give them a simple step-by-step plan. And this is why we're going to get back to this. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cute because, yeah, we're always afraid to talk about it, but that's what we have to talk about, right? Because there's a lot of people online that go like, well, I tried Zazzle and I made $1,000. It's not worth it. And I think that's the myth that we have to dispel each time. Even though we're in this educational industry, we're not here to get you the money. We're here to educate you so you can be empowered to become your own entrepreneur and excel to whatever level you want to excel to. That's
mhm,
possible for you based on what you take, what you take in terms of learnings, or what you do on your own, or your business background, or your non-business background. It really depends on you taking the steps, because some of the clients that we talk about, for instance, like Brandon, he's almost at $800,000 in lifetime earnings, which is awesome. Hasn't caught up to me yet, but he's going to at some point. He's our top earner. And that, at the beginning, when he first started, the first thing he said is, I'm going to prove you wrong. And here he is so many years later, because he's tried for 5 years on his own to make money on the platform. And he has a business background, but he just didn't understand how to do business online with the Zazzle platform and print on demand, etc. And he's been thriving ever since, right? He still gets coaching from us. He has done masterminds, one-on-ones with us. He initially took the course that was our beginners Zazzle course, and then he goes like, can you do more? So we made an intermediate Zazzle course, and then he goes like, I need you to do a mastermind. So he's thankfully, like, we're very grateful to him, because basically his demands of how much more people needed to understand what we knew and how we were successful, then became public so that other people can access it, which is awesome. Back to this though, like what I wanted to say is that you have to know yourself what you want to dig through, and then also just go like, let's not just make an excuse and go like, oh, it's a scam, or oh, you can't make money now, because all of that stuff that you guys are talking about with success happened back then, and it's not possible now. Well, we have clients that have started from zero recently and have done really, really well, getting up to like $10,000 in like their first year and a half. And that's earnings, that's profit. So that means that they've sold about $100,000 worth on the platform within that time period. And again, like, we're always just talking about actual clients. Some of them we can name by name. Others have asked us to be private, but they're there. And so I think that's really important to remember, that whatever you're using as an excuse is not an excuse, right? It's just fear of trying something that it might not work.
Yeah.
So let's get you not feeling so fearful and give you some help, right? Because you don't want to feel lost or stuck.
No. Well, then that brings us into the 5 strategies that we have created, or Elke created when she created the program, which is now our Profit by Design Academy coaching program. And it literally takes you from the beginning, step by step, and shows you and guides you on how to create a profitable business on Zazzle, because there is nothing out there like that. Like Elke and I have created this coaching program, and nothing exists like the Profit by Design Academy coaching program. And nothing exists like the 5 strategies that Elke created when she first was starting out on Zazzle and figured out what was working and what wasn't working on the Zazzle platform. So the first one is establish. And do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, and I mean it's just a word, but it means so much, right? Like if you start something, you can't just like see a TikTok video on and about, oh, this t-shirt made this much money, so go to Canva and make something similar, but don't copy, but make something similar and then you'll make just as much money as they will. Like that's a bunch of BS, excuse my language, right?
Baloney.
There's, you have to think about the Coca-Cola, for example, or like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, or McDonald's and Burger King, or McDonald's and Harvey's, or like, Starbucks and Tim Hortons. That's a Canadian thing because Tim Hortons is Canadian, but I think people even know about that. But like, or Shell and Texaco, and Texaco isn't even still around, but Shell and Esso, all of these are both making, like, serving the same customer with the same need, but why did I call Coca-Cola Coca-Cola and Pepsi Pepsi? It's because each of them established a brand around their offering, right?
Mhm.
We're still all selling cola, but what's the difference? Where is the customer going to decide to buy from you? And also, so that's establishing your brand, and also just establishing, what are you going to sell? Oh, I'm going to sell cola, or I'm going to sell coffee, or I'm going to sell gas. I'm like, that's where the established comes in. It's like, okay, what are we selling that's going to make me the money that I want? So those are the decisions you have to make. You have to establish yourself as, what is your company? What are you going to offer? How are you going to distinguish? Sorry, I have this. I'm lisping here. I just have this mouth guard in because I had gum surgery. What is going to distinguish you from another seller that's selling the same thing? And that is partly brand, partly messaging, but also part of, like, very much so, product offering, right? In terms of designs or style, or because even if you sell just t-shirts, you can sell t-shirts in so many different ways, right? But so those are all the things you kind of have to establish to just make a decision as to what's your company going to be, how is this going to last more than selling one t-shirt and then nothing ever happens again. Like there is this one designer that came onto, like, as a typical example, and I'll use her. I don't need to say her name, but I'm sure everyone knows about her, because on TikTok, this lovely, I just like smile every time, because like her boyfriend was going off to university. She didn't want him to date anyone else. So she made him wear a t-shirt that says, "I hurt my boyfriend."
With her
Gosh,
face on it.
I love it. Like, I'm taken, right? And she opened up a Zazzle store, and she put this t-shirt up and made it basically for herself. And then she's on TikTok, she's going like, I made my boyfriend wear this so he won't get taken and he stays my boyfriend. Well, this thing, like, she didn't even have any followers on TikTok, but this took off. This one video took off. And
Mhm.
because she had the because she had the
Um,
t-shirt on Zazzle, it got like hundreds of thousands of views and a lot of sales, obviously. Um, and so kudos to her. Like, one video ended up getting like tens of thousands of views on TikTok. That resulted in hundreds of thousands of views on Zazzle. And we we kind of found out based on data when we were able to see the views that people had on their products, which Zazzle's just recently taken away. But we realized that basically 10% of those views were sales, right? So just imagine if you had 100,000 views, and she had like almost 1 million views in her products combined. And if you just go like, okay, 10% of that, she sold a t-shirt for 20 bucks and made 10% of that, which is $2. You could do the math.
Yeah.
And so, but unfortunately after that, she didn't do anything else, right? So that's it. And now it's gone. Like her money grab is gone. And
Hmm.
so part of establishing, and I know that we're getting into create because Jen's prompting me here, but part of the establishing also means getting the business sense and skill sets so that you can repeat your success.
Hmm.
And so now when we get to create, that was like a really great example, but it's a one-off, right?
Yeah.
So kudos to her for grabbing some money, but it also showed her how much money she could make. And what if she did that consistently and it with a strategy, which brings us to create, right? There's such a wealth of abundance on the like online space for merchandising, and like that's why everyone loves to do print on demand, because and it's very economical and ecologically friendly system, because basically you're only manufacturing a product once someone buys it, because that's what print on demand is called, right? So
Hmm.
it's so great, and the business model is really good for profit, right? It's not wasting a lot of money. You don't have like 20 million t-shirts in your garage that you can't sell. Instead, you're just selling once you make the product, or once someone buys it, you actually get it printed. In the meantime, it's just a virtual like design that sort of sits there and tries to sell that, get that person to buy. And so it's a really great business model, not just now, but in the future. And that's one of the reasons why we picked it in 2008. We go like, this is a brilliant business model. There's no waste, which we loved because we wanted to be eco-friendly. It really makes a lot of sense for us as well, because we don't want to, like, we were those people that had product in our garage and then lug it here, lug it there. And it's like, this is so good. But just because it's online and you have to, and it's virtual, um, there's that sort of lack of connection with the physical, right? So you have a couple of issues that happen, right? First of all, there's not as much urgency to create because it's all conceptual in your head. And you don't just have a whole bunch of stuff in your garage where you get really excited that you have, or nervous that you have to sell it, right?
Hmm.
And it also doesn't put the pressure on like this product has to be a good product in order to sell. And so a lot of people, even though they're making products, they don't understand why that sold, or even if it doesn't sell, and how to make something that will sell. So this is a really important strategy, the create. It's not just put products out there, it's understand what those products are that are going to sell, make sure that you're staying profitable so that you're not wasting your time making a bunch of things that don't sell ever, things like that, which are super, super important. And that's actually where Jen and I have excelled, because
Hmm.
even back in the day when we started in 2000, I almost said 2028, 2008, um, there was very little social media to do something like this TikTok sale, right? We had to really cut our teeth on understanding what people want to buy and delivering on those products. And that's
Hmm.
what made us successful. But it also helps us now do a lot of one-on-one coaching and help in the masterminds that we do, where we can really educate people and cut their own teeth on that. And I don't know if that's the right saying, but really form that habit of getting better and better at creating intentional products that will sell. So, like for example, Brandon, we now have him to the point where he's so good at designing and so good at understanding the market and understanding how to do the research, etc., that there's going to be like his increase, or his ability to just say, I'm going to make this product in this niche, and his like success rate is incredibly high.
Hmm.
And so that's what we have been so excited to help people with, and that's why we're called Zazzle Expansion Experts.
Yeah.
And that's why our one-on-one program is just now so popular, we have to kind of almost keep people out. They have to wait because we can only handle so many people. And that's why we also introduce the masterminds, because that way we can handle more people at once. But in the meantime, there's our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, which helps people in a group effort, but and a setting. And then, yeah, and then during that time, we're also like Jennifer's prompting me with announce. Okay, let's move on. Can you tell we're excited about helping people? Okay, so go ahead. Now you go ahead and do some of the announce stuff, because this is the first two are the most important, but then the rest, as I said, like we didn't even have social media to help us. We just had to do our products properly, and part of announcing is labeling, right? Keywords, SEO. Once you do that, you're already halfway there. And then the next, oh, and then what just happened here? So I'm on my own here for a minute. And then and if you do that right, that's already most of the work. But then you can also make it even more exciting and reach more people by doing things like, social media, Pinterest, TikTok, your own email list, etc. And as I said, if you create a brand, then they come after you because they want your brand, which is awesome. Which is the first time that happened to me, that was almost weird, like as if like I'm a movie star now. but then it was like, great, now I don't have to work so hard at promoting because other people are talking about my products and they want it and they're recommending it to my friends. And so this is part of announce, as well as just like, oh, how, like I posted every day on Instagram, how come it's not working? There's so much more involved, and that's what we also are really good at teaching people how to do. Is it's more than just promotion by posting.
Yeah. And then the fourth one is align, which is where we go into a little bit more about mindset and understanding how to align your goals with your actions and how to move your business forward, right? And have it really align with how you feel and how you want your business to look going forward, right? Because a lot of people don't think about their mindset, and they also don't have their goals aligned with what you're actually trying to achieve. And so there's the disconnect there sometimes. And this is one of the really great strategies that we help you with so that you feel good about your business and your business goals for your income, and also just your production and productivity goals as well. And then the last one is called analyze, which is where we go in and figure out what's actually happening in your store. And this is, I know that each strategy is equally important on its own, but all of them are very cohesive all together as well. And
Yeah.
so understanding that not only one of these strategies can be completed, they have to all be done equally. And so the fifth one here is, I like to say that's the most important, but it's not the most important. It's just the one that tells you about what's actually happening in your store. Because if you don't understand your numbers or understand what's happening, unfortunately, you can't make business decisions to move yourself forward, or you're making business decisions that are actually probably not even really important, and you're just wasting time because you don't know what's truly happening in your store. And I know that some people at the beginning of their Zazzle career don't have too many statistics, which is fine. But once you start getting certain numbers, even if it's a couple sales here and there, that's where you can really start, understanding what's going on, and make decisions and feel comfortable about the fact that you've made certain products and made these sales because of X, Y, or Z. I like to call it like being a sleuth, or being like Sherlock Holmes or something like that, where you're figuring out like, why is this product selling, or why is this working for me, or why is this not working for me? And I know that a lot of people don't like looking at their numbers, and a lot of people would rather not look at the numbers and just hope for the best. But that's actually the worst thing possible. It's like not going to the doctor because you don't want to be diagnosed with something, but you know that you should probably check it out anyway. Just like keeping it away just because you don't want to know. And
Yeah.
so I've done that personally, where I didn't like looking at my numbers because it just really, either scared me or gave me anxiety, because I was so obsessed with looking at my earnings. And every single day, if I didn't make more money, then I would just put myself down this rabbit hole of like, I'm working so hard, yet I'm not seeing results. And so I actually shied away from looking at my earnings because I just felt really depressed about it. And so I know that a lot of people probably have that fear or that feeling when it comes to the numbers, but we help you, as like in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program and within these 5 strategies, understand that looking at your numbers doesn't need to be scary, and it actually is very beneficial, because then you can make the business decisions to help you move forward, even if you're not seeing the numbers that you want right now.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. And like even some of the other things in terms of aligning, just even on the last mindset call that we had for our clients, a lot of people just need the permission from us, even though they obviously they need to make the decision, but they were so in their own mindset as to what is needed in order to succeed that they just needed to hear it from us that you can set this business up the way you want to. If you don't want to do stationery, you don't have to do stationery. But they had this in their mind that stationery was the only way they were going to make the big bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, for me, yes, I did sell one or two things on a stationery wise, but for the most part, I sold other stuff. Whereas Jen sold more stationery, and like I'm the one that made more money than Jen, and so like I'm living proof that you don't have to do stationery if you don't want to, because I'm just not as like I'm really into weddings, but I'm not into the stationery suites of weddings. I'm into maybe the accessories, or I liked home decor. I liked cell phone cases. I liked postage stamps when they had those, but that's unfortunate that they don't have that anymore. But you just kind of like find your way of what makes it thrilling for you and exciting, and you set it up the way you want to. You can get to work when you want to. You get the number of hours you want to work. You can do that depending on what you want to do or what you're able to do. You can make it your own business, and that's what I really loved about it. But only after you analyze it and realize, oh, I'm working like it's not just numbers and earnings. It's how many hours did I work, how many products did I put up, what kind of products did I put up. Those are all part of the analysis as well, and that allows you to go like, I'm going to set this business up this way.
Mm-hmm. No, it's very true. So to wrap up, that is Zazzle Made Simple, a beginner's step-by-step guide to success. So if you want some more information on the 5 strategies and how we can help you with our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, you can check the links in the description below. We also have a really wonderful 3-day free mini challenge for you to help you open up your first account and store on Zazzle, post your first product for sale, and learn how to promote your products as well. And it's very informative, absolutely free. All you have to do is put your email in down below. This linked in the description of this video. We also have a great free downloadable for you talking about 150 niche trends and designs that you can use to help you within your Zazzle journey to success. So both of those are absolutely free. I highly recommend that you get access to both of them, because that is helping you move forward, right? And the best thing that you can do to help you with your Zazzle business is to learn new things and implement new things. And Elke and I are here to help you along your journey. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.